All right, good evening. I've got 6 o'clock, so we'll get started with our regular May 26th Stevens County Board of Commissioners meeting. I would like to just ask for all the folks in the audience if you just please silence your cell phone so it doesn't interrupt the meeting. But we are going to start our meeting tonight with a presentation from one of our citizens, Mr. Lamar Holford. He's going to present some ideas on the rec department. So please come up and share those ideas with us tonight.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk. That wasn't it. Lamar is my legal name. I go by Eddie, if you don't mind.
Okay.
What I want to do is, first of all, tell you that I think you've got one heck of a recreation department manager. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give Chris and his whole group a baker's dozen score. So if you know what that is, that means a 13.
Yes, sir.
So we'll go from there. I'm talking about pickleball. I'm one of the 200-something people that play pickleball at the rec center indoors. What I'm referring to, I think we need to graduate also now and consider outdoor pickleball courts, permanent courts. So that's where I want to go with this. And to give you some background on it, as of right now, according to Dr. Google, Dr. Duck, and AI, there are 24.3 million people playing. There's 1 in 10 adults 21 and over. And since in 2025, and within 36 months, there has been an increase in 171.8%. That's a lot. I had 6 months ago, I had another commissioner member to tell me that it was a fad and it was going to go away in 2 years. And I told the lady, I said, I appreciate your comment, but it's not. I made a presentation to the city about Henderson Falls Park, and they annulled it 2 times in a row. So we'll just go from there. The area I'm referring to, there's 3 areas. There's one when you first drive into the park. It's a flat area across the way from the flagpole and the Stevens County Senior Citizen Centers. Everybody understand what I'm talking about, and the Greenway. So we'll talk about that area. Then on top of the hill, there's a dirt area. It needs a lot of work on it. 2 other level areas are the small baseball field for the U8s and 10s. My opinion, it is not good to take away that from them. We are supposed to be adult role models, so what are we saying if we put pickleball courts over their courts and they can't play? Sure. The next area is the flat area, which is used by teams to warm up in. It's on past the water splash area, and it's in between field 4. So that flat area, again, we are saying that we're adults and we're supposed to be good role models. That's not good. So my area of choice is the one on the right side. It's the lowest and the simplest part. It takes the least construction to do it. I recommend a total of 8 outdoor pickleball courts, the number I come up with. Haverstown County has 6. They're going to try to double theirs. I played in their tournament 4 weeks ago. Didn't do so well, but that's just the way it is. And Hawaii had, I think, over 400 in their 3.5-day tournament 6 weeks ago. We had some people from Stevens County to go and represent Stevens County, and they came back with some silver medals. So pickleball is here. It's ready to go, and we need to step up to the plate. Now, in addition to the 8 courts, you're going to have 6 of them. If you take the 3 tennis courts that are there and you transpose them down to there, 1 tennis court makes 2 pickleball courts. So you have that half. So the 4th, the 7th and 8th courts will be turned sideways, making an equal sign into the back side of it. This area will still be part of the 8 courts. There'll be tournament grade courts, and you will be able to rent those 2 courts out. If somebody wants to do a pickleball birthday party, you've got it separated from the other courts, and the balls won't be traveling back and forth, and the kids can hit the ball wherever they so choose and play. You don't ride scooters, bicycles, or anything like that. We currently have the tennis courts being shared outside with pickleball. We have older nets that are put together. They're broken. I've even stepped on one. It's just not a good setup. As far as the courts, Chris and them have done a great job with that. The Dr. Google says the average pickleball court is $40,000. So your eight's $320,000 total. I don't know what the facility is in Rayburn County. That's the last closest one. They put in 10 courts. There was not a financial statement made. But as I have spoken to the city, and I'll speak to you, it's done through SPLOSH, it's done through integration, and it's done through fundraising and private donations. One of the things I have talked with, it was John, the vice superintendent, and then Eric S., I can't remember his name. He plays pickleball and his kids play pickleball. We teach pickleball in our school system, but we have no place for them to play after the 6 weeks we go. The rec department has stepped up and they're offering a pickleball clinic. Fantastic. Where are you going to play? Okay. This is something we need to look at for future. I went back and looked up. I made a comment to Eric that if Stevens County, the city of Toccoa, and the school system got together, sat down, and each put in $100,000 out of SPLOSH money, it is legal. There's case law already for it. Actually, the first one was the Macon Bibb Group in 2020. They took the Georgia Rec and Parks Association state championship there after they did those courts. They put in 17 courts, and now they've added an additional 32 courts. This integration is called IGA, or Intergovernmental Agreements, or Joint Use Programs. Sandy Springs and Fulton County did one through the Board of Education. Jefferson, Georgia has done this. Watkinsville, Georgia. Rayburn County is the closest one to us that has done this. And then also, on May the 5th, there's a post in Rayburn County's group, Jay Johnson, don't know who that is, and his question is, why are so many tags showing Stevens County playing pickleball on our courts? So, it's a valid point.
Sure.
Now, the short term would be to take and put in semi-permanent nets at the three tennis courts. Restripe it to a boulder striping and let them play. My goal to give you information on to bring this together, because I have 4 other projects to present to you for the rec department. I want the Stevens County Rec Department to be the pinnacle for small town, city, USA in the state of Georgia. By doing that, we put pickleball first, and I'll just tell you about a walk with heroes is what I want to come and talk to you about in July. It's a Veterans Park. We just came off of Memorial Day. Without them, we would not be here. So we can do that. DNR offers a $300,000 scholarship or grant for pickleballs, trails, redoing the creek down there in the area, which is part of my program that I want to present. When you do the tournament grade courts, the playing surface itself is like 100 yards. You can take it and put it anywhere you want to. It's just the arena around it which makes it look big. So whether it's professional, and it is a professional sports, it's into the millions. You can bring outside groups in. Toccoa Falls B team, these are all college teams that are looking to play. You got Toccoa Falls, Truett McConnell, Piedmont, got Anderson College, Bernal, North Georgia. You can bring those people in. Where do we want our SPLOSH money to come from? We want other outside people coming in. If you've got something, the old adage was build it and they'll come. Build it and they will play. Just like this guy that's noticing all of the Stevens County tags, our money is going up there. Instead, let's do something and bring it here.
Gotcha.
Okay?
No, I appreciate the information. We're definitely aligned with trying to improve our rec department and continue to try to make it the best
Right.
one in Northeast Georgia for sure.
Right, and the reason being 8, if you decide to do tournaments, $40 apiece, 400 players, Hiwassee made $16,000. You do it 3 times a year, it helps. Habersham, 240, you got $8,000. I'm so sorry.
Appreciate
Sorry,
it.
I have a health issue that keeps me from speaking.
Doris.
It is a big endeavor. It's basically 260 yards of concrete. I had a local concrete company to help me with it. According to Dr. Google and AI, if you use recycled corrugate, it reduces the cost by 30%. They don't use that. There isn't anything close by. Just throwing this out there, it might be something the county commissioners would want to look at as someone bringing or opening up a venue, a business to do recycle asphalt and concrete to help save money, help save our environment.
Gotcha.
We do have something similar that we use that is somewhat recycled that we've used on other surfaces.
Right.
And Chair Rickman, I'm sure, will discuss this, but we're kind of trying to develop a 5-year plan for the rec department.
Right.
So I certainly don't want you to get disheartened because we've kind of come up with that budget for the fiscal year coming up already. But we are trying to do a long-term, future-looking plan for the rec department.
Great, okay.
Yeah, we had a good bit of discussion back in January at our initial planning meeting for this year, and then in the budget meeting, we had a good bit of discussion around the rec department. I mean, we're looking at things like lights, potential paving, obviously pickleball courts, things like that. So we're aligned with you as far as a long-term vision of
Right.
where we want to go.
Okay, great. Well, what I would like to do is do a Veterans Park, that's walk with heroes, then do a botanical garden, not just, this is down in the bottom, down in the bottom where the creek is.
You're talking about back behind where the frisbee or
splash
disc
pads,
golf?
yes.
Okay, back down in there. I got you.
Back down in there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, used to be all farming land.
Sure.
So do that, but put edible products in there, and when you do that, you open up your avenue for different grants.
I got you.
I'm sorry. All right. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
time.
We
and
appreciate it. We look
Thank
forward to
you.
working with you and talking some more.
Certainly, yeah, please do. I'd like to be a volunteer in your projects.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much. All right. Thank you, Mr. Halford. So we'll move into our land use public hearing now. I believe we have 5 items, Mr. Hamilton.
Yes, sir, we do. We'll now begin our land use public hearings for tonight. We will have 5 items on the agenda. We will first call for those wishing to speak in favor of each item. We'll call each item in turn. When your item comes up, if you'd like, we ask that you come up if you're in favor, give your name and address for the record, and you will have up to 10 minutes to speak. You will see a timer on the screen that will count down. When that timer reaches 0, we ask that you kindly wrap up your thoughts. Following from those wishing to speak in favor, we will ask for those wishing to speak in opposition, and the same rules will apply for that. Following from that, if there's any need for a rebuttal, the pleasure of the Board of Commissioners, a 3-minute rebuttal can be provided to any applicant. Are there any questions about how tonight's land use public hearing will commence? All right, we'll go ahead and begin. Item number 1 is a rezoning request from Timothy Wilbanks at 604 Currahee Circle, Toccoa, parcel 021D100. The property is currently zoned as residential single, and the proposed action to be taken is to rezone the subject property from residential single to agricultural residential. Recommendation from the Planning Commission is to approve the item as requested. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this item? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this item? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? All right, the land use public hearing for item number 1 is closed. Item number 2 is a rezoning request from John Smith, 125 Saddlebred Lane, Toccoa, parcel 014002. The property is currently zoned as agricultural intensive, and the proposed action to be taken is to rezone 5.32 acres from the subject property from agricultural intensive to agricultural residential. Recommendation from the Planning Commission is to approve as requested. Any questions or comments from the Board of Commissioners? Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this item?
That'd be fine.
John Smith, what'd you say I lived at, 125 Saddlebred Lane?
Yes, sir.
Let's hope so.
I spend more time at 39 Collier Road, so I don't, had to think about it. But, no, we're just a young couple in the neighborhood. They need, young lady wants to stay near her mama, and her fiance has to work in Hart EMC territory, and we're about the last house on the line, so we're gonna sell them a few acres, let them get started, and bring some young folks into the neighborhood, since it's all old people now, so. Y'all don't have any, if you got any questions, ask them. If you don't, that's what it's all about.
Didn't have any questions.
All right.
Parceled off?
Yes,
Okay.
it's being parceled off,
Okay,
and
that's
the
what-
property is zoned AI, which is a minimum of 10 acres.
Okay, that's what threw me off, okay.
It's a good question.
Yeah, there was 80-something acres in the original tract. We just had to separate them out. All right. Y'all have a good day.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? All right, the land use public hearing for item number 2 is closed. Item number 3 is a variance request from Richard Anderson at 1166 North Red Rock Road, Toccoa, parcel 051A017. The property is currently zoned as residential single. The proposed action to be taken is to grant a variance to allow for a second residential structure on a parcel less than 2 acres and to replace one existing home while retaining the second structure for storage. Recommendation from the Planning Commission is to deny the request. Are there any questions or comments from the Board of Commissioners?
Yes, I got a couple of questions on this one. So there are 2 homes that are there now that were there prior to our land use ordinance, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
they were both grandfathered in.
Yes, sir.
The property owner wants to remove one of those homes, place a new home on the property, allow the second home to remain standing and use it as storage.
Yes, sir.
I think we're a little confused
Yeah.
why this is coming.
Yeah, I mean, we don't govern when somebody wants to put a new house on their property. You know
Right.
why?
So the way the ordinance is written is legal nonconforming uses, which is what the use would be classified as, because it does not meet the minimum acreage requirements of 2 acres for 2 homes on the property. It would be allowed because it was put in prior to land use. However, when you're replacing the homes, you cannot change any of the layout of the property. It has to be put on the same pad, the existing structure. So at that point, they're changing it, which requires a variance to the ordinance.
But eventually, it will be a home and an accessory structure.
That's the issue. The issue is the second is still considered a principal dwelling.
But
But if he had, let's just say, if he had gone ahead and done it without requesting for the variance,
which we don't recommend.
no, I'm not saying I recommend it, but I'm saying, and then if he had came and just asked for an accessory structure, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion, right?
So if he took the 2 homes down and put a new home up and put an accessory structure up, he'd be allowed to do that by right,
Without coming in.
without coming to the Board of Commissioners.
Because
The second
at a
home.
point in time, there's going to be 2 residences on
Exactly.
there, and it doesn't meet the acreage.
Exactly.
Mr. Anderson here?
I don't think we've gotten there yet.
What am I saying?
Do we have a max square footage on our accessory structures?
No, they're allowed to be larger than the principal structures.
All right.
We'll just hear
We'll see,
from him.
well, go ahead.
Okay. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of the item? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition?
The applicant here,
Yeah, is Mr. Anderson here? I'll table this one then, because I got questions.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've already held the public hearing, so you can table it for the actual item if you'd like to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, item number, the public hearing is closed. Item number 4 is a rezoning request from William Heath Hutto at Freeman Creek Road, Toccoa, parcel 033131. The property is currently zoned as residential single. The proposed action to be taken is to rezone the property to agricultural residential for combination purposes. Recommendation from the Planning Commission is to approve as requested. Are there any questions or comments from the Board of Commissioners? Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this item? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Land use public hearing for item number 4 is closed. Item number 5 is a rezoning request from Joshua Perry at Old Mize Road, Toccoa, parcel 033166. The property is currently zoned as agricultural intensive. The proposed action to be taken is to rezone the property to agricultural residential for residential purposes. Recommendation from the Planning Commission is to approve as requested. Are there any questions or comments from the Board of Commissioners?
Have any?
Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this request?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. It's good to be here. I'm very excited to go through this process and learn everything that's
Awesome.
involved in it. It's very lengthy, but it's very entertaining and intriguing as through each process is done. And I'm very excited to be here. I think it's a beautiful town, a beautiful area. I look forward to doing this, and thank you for granting this.
Sure.
Thank you for coming forward,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
and welcome.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the item? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? All right, the land use public hearing for item number 5 is closed.
All right, so that'll move us into our regular meeting tonight. Huh? We'll move into our regular meeting tonight. So we'll start out with our invocation and pledge. Is Mr. Teasley's not here tonight? All right, so Mr. Hamilton, will you do the invocation for us tonight?
Sure.
Thank you.
Lord, thank you for letting us be here tonight. Thank you for the Board of Commissioners. Thank you for staff. Lord, please grant grace and wisdom as decisions are made tonight. Thank you for this community. Thank you for the citizens of Stevens County. And in your name we pray, amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. Appreciate that. Just for the audience's awareness, Ms. Whitlock, Commissioner Whitlock, was unable to attend tonight. She is on the phone, so she's allowed to do that a couple of times a year. She has a personal illness issue she's dealing with. And Commissioner Wright is dealing with
Personal illness.
personal illness. She's got a shoulder. So she's working on that. But Commissioner Wright is dealing with an issue at his house. He had a busted water line, so he's dealing with that right now. But anyway, we'll move into our agenda. I understand there's a need to add a couple of items to the agenda tonight.
Yes, so we would like to revise the agenda to include item number 8, which would be an extension to the moratorium that we already have in place for the acceptance of land use applications for data centers. And we would also like to add a quote for a brush truck for Tate's Creek Fire Department.
So that'll be item number 8 under new business, and then item number 3 under invoices and quotes. All right. And on the data center moratorium, what's the proposed date for the extension?
Yes, sir. The data center moratorium is presently set to expire July 14th of 26. We are proposing a 3-month extension of that to October 14th of 26.
10/14.
Motion that we amend the agenda to include item 8, an extension of the moratorium until October of 2026, and also add number 3 under invoices and quotes under $10,000 for the truck for Tate's Creek.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Additional comments? All in favor? Our agenda is approved. We'll move to approval of the minutes for our May 8th called meeting and our May 12th regular meeting. Are there any changes or additions to either of those minutes?
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the meeting minutes are approved. Do we have any administrators' reports tonight?
No, sir.
Do we have any department reports?
No, sir.
Do we have any commissioners' reports?
Just congratulations to the graduates of 2026 of the high school. It was a packed house. It was pouring down rain, but it's nice to see the community come out for them.
It hadn't rained in 6 months, and we scheduled graduation, and it
Poured.
poured, so.
But
that's
they worked it out
fantastic.
well, and it worked.
Yep. All right, so we'll move into new business. Mr. Hamilton?
Yes, sir. Item number 1 of new business, rezoning request from Timothy Wilbanks as discussed in the public hearing.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? All in favor of approving line item 1, new business?
Aye.
Line item 1 is approved.
Item number 2, rezoning request from John Smith as discussed in the public hearing.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Line item 2 is approved.
Item number 3, a variance request from Richard Anderson as discussed in the public hearing.
Motion to postpone.
And I do want to add that I have to abstain from that case, for that Mr. Anderson's variance request.
Understand you have to abstain. We got that noted.
I'll second the motion to postpone.
All right, I got a motion and a second for a postponement for additional discussion and details.
If he could be present at the next meeting, I think that would be very helpful.
Yes. All right, any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, line item 3 is postponed.
Item number 4, rezoning request from William Heath Hutto as discussed in the public hearing.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Line item 4 is approved.
Item number 5, rezoning request from Joshua Perry as discussed in the public hearing.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Line item 5 is approved.
All right, item number 6, board to consider motion to renew ACCG Irma liability insurance policy and authorize chairman to sign renewal. Our policy is going up 8.7%. It's not due to claims, it's due to value. Just for the public's information, the mobile property value increased from $2,163,018 for fiscal year '26 to $2,752,220 in fiscal year '27. This is an increase of $589,202, or 27.24%. It's a big increase in the value of the mobile property that we own. Our buildings and contents also increased in value from $68,687,123 in fiscal year '26 to $71,194,313 in fiscal year '27. This is an increase of $2,507,190, or 3.65%. Overall, our cost is rising from an annual $425,669 to $462,681. This is an increase of $37,012, or 8.7%.
That's all factored into the FY '27 budget, correct, James? Understand. I saw the budget you sent out earlier.
So we'll have to pull it, the remainder in fiscal year '26, but fiscal year '27 will be factored accordingly.
A motion to approve.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Line item 6 is approved.
Item number 7, board to consider motion to approve fiscal year '26 construction contract for airfield asphalt rejuvenation remark project for Toccoa Stevens County Airport and authorize chairman to sign. In addition to approving the contract for the fiscal year '26 work, the airport is also asking for an additional $8,379 in funding to complete resurfacing on the secondary runway. This funding will allow them to complete the project in tandem with the primary resurfacing. Funds are available in contingencies. And Amber McCall is here if there's any questions.
So all of that money that we're going to pull from contingency, the $8,000, it'll hit in FY '26? Or do we think that's going to roll over into '27?
That'll roll over.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just from a budget perspective, it seems like it'd be better to go ahead and pay it out in '26 so that we're starting with a fresh slate in '27.
Will you invoice us for that? Okay.
Okay, that makes more sense to me than trying to figure it out on '27. Additional discussion? I'll entertain a motion. I got a motion and a second. Any additional comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, line item 7 is approved.
Number 8, board to consider a motion to extend moratorium barring the acceptance of land use applications for data centers to authorize chairman to sign resolution. The work session will be held next Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. in this building. If anyone would like to come out and discuss the proposed additions and text amendments to the Stevens County Land Use Ordinance regarding data centers. Until that time, the Board of Commissioners does feel like maybe an extension on that moratorium would give the board a little bit more time to get the proper ordinance in place. Again, staff is recommending a 3-month extension from that July date to October 14th, 2026.
Yeah, we just want more time to make sure that we get the right ordinance. We've had a lot of good feedback provided from various citizens. I'm sure everybody's seen in the news, there's a lot of things going on in and around the state of Georgia related to data centers, and this is important. So we want to make sure we get it right, make sure we get all the right feedback and input from the citizens from other counties that have dealt with it across the state of Georgia. So that's why we're wanting to extend it, just to make sure that it is correct. So
Motion to approve.
second. I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Extend the moratorium to October 14th. All right, invoices and quotes over 10,000. Samantha?
All right, we have an invoice from Brandon Motor Company in the amount of $39,499. This is for a 2023 Ford F-150 for Building and Grounds Department, and insurance reimbursement funds are available. We have a quote from Bennett Fire Products in the amount of $15,136. This is for 2 sets of gear for Martin Fire Department. Funds are available in their account. And the additional quote that we added is for a brush truck. This quote is actually from a bank. Briar Reno Fire Department has this truck. The amount is $266,629.12. We would be taking over this loan but paying it as a whole, and the funds would be forward funded from SPLOST 8.
This is the third truck we've tried to get, right? We've been trying to get this truck for a while. So I know that we've lost the opportunity in the last few times just because we couldn't move as quick as we needed to. So I think it's definitely a need. So I'm very much in favor of moving forward with it. So do y'all want to take them individually, or y'all good taking all 3 invoices at one time? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the invoices.
Voices.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Let's pay the bills, Sam. Let's get that fire truck bought. All right, do we have any forms submitted for matters from citizens tonight?
No, sir.
I'll always, as I have in the past, open it up to citizens who haven't submitted a form. If anybody would like to speak, you're more than welcome to have your 3 minutes at the mic. All right, hearing none, do we have a need for executive session tonight? All right, no need for executive session. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion and a second. All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you for coming
Thank y'all
tonight.
for coming.
Appreciate it.